Hello, hello, hello. I'm under the rhododendron and it is very beautiful and I'm enjoying this beautiful day today. Absolutely gorgeous. And pink flowers all around me on the grass. And those are azaleas and rhododendron and growing next to each other. It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Just wanted to share this with people. And I'm 80% better today. Still coughing, but I'm better. And I enjoy the sun, I enjoy the garden, and I am infinitely grateful for everything we have. And I have rings under my eyes, but that's okay, you know. And I'm grateful for that, what we have. Infinitely grateful for that, what we have. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's a wonderful now moment, wherever you are in your life. Yeah. You can sit with that and you can say, it is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. And here's something beautiful too. And that is there too. And be grateful for that beautiful thing. And I really wanted to make this video about the importance of touch, because I realized now I watched another Jiddu Krishnamurti video yesterday, and he was talking about this old man. I've watched this already in the past several times, but last night I was listening to it again, and every time Paul holds my foot, and even if he doesn't do a very good foot massage, if he just holds my foot, you know, there's an energy, there's a connection, and that's love, and that's compassion. And it is important. It is more important than anyone can possibly imagine, is this touch. A cat sitting on your chest, this touch, you know. A horse nuzzling you on your cheek. It's love, it's touch. A dog licking your face, you know. A dog putting his foot on your leg. Some dogs do that. They come up when you feel sad, they come up to you and they put their foot on your leg. Papa dog can't do that because his legs are too short. So, but he will come up to me like a sea lion, and he will lean against me, and he'll give me touch, and he'll put his head all the way back, like a sea lion does, all the way back, and lean his flat forehead against me, and the nose up. It's very nice and it feels very good. And Paul holding my foot, and a hospice worker holding the hand of an old lady in a hospital. Don't underestimate the power of touch. You know. So Jiddu Krishnamurti talked about this old man and that he met, and the old man talked to him about his life, and it was a rough life. Jiddu Krishnamurti took his hand and held his hand. And he was old himself. And the old man started crying. He said, "This is the first time in my life that someone held my hand." It made Jiddu Krishnamurti cry too, just thinking about it. The first time that someone held his hand in 100 years. Yeah. So, and this is the situation on this planet. This is our situation. This is the human dilemma. The human dilemma is that people forgot the importance of touch. And when they touch each other, it's usually sexual, for some sexual purposes or some business, handshake or something. It's always like it usually is something to that has a different meaning. What we want to accomplish here, what my goal is, what my vision is for humanity is to heal again through touch, to bring touch back, non-sexual touch. I talked about this in many of my videos. Non-sexual touch. Just touch. My friend Birgit did that for me. She petted my hair like this. I was sitting on the couch earlier, and I started to pet my hair like this in the back here. I was thinking how infinitely important that is for all of us, for every one of us. Not with the ulterior motives, not with this, oh no, yeah, I'll get myself this boyfriend, or I'll get this chick there. No, no, not that way. You take someone ugly. You take someone as ugly as it gets, and someone who you're not sexually attracted to. Someone who is not in your range of desire. An old man or old woman. Someone of your same gender, or just someone you don't like sexually. Also, to say I like you, meaning sexual, that's so wrong, I like all kinds of things, but it's not sexual. We should say to each other, I like you, and really mean it in a non-sexual way. I like you, you, the living being. Sex is such an inflated, inflamed thing in society. It has been commercialized to the ultimate. It is being exploited by the corporations. It's being rubbed into our faces. It's being pushed at us. Can we let go of this just for a moment? Just for a moment. Relax this. Just relax. Let go of the porn images. Let go of the desire. Think about someone, anyone just touching your hair like this. Without arousal, without the inflammation of brain and sexual hormone stimulation. Just this relax, relax. Relax. Let yourself be petted. Like Birgit petted my hair, and Birgit and I, we were not gay. We are completely straight. Two straight ladies in a primal room. She had a primal room, and we both were in the training with training center with Dr. Arthur Janov to become primal therapists. And so we did body sessions, those are therapy sessions where you sit for each other in a soundproof room, and the other person, one person listens, the other person talks, the person who talks will get into her issues, the things that are painful from the past, and will bring it to the surface, bring it to awareness. And we already knew how to get there, so we learned how to do it. And she was very good at it. She went through all 3 stages and came back out. First line, second line, third line, third line, second line, first line, second line, third line, coming back out. And all the way deep into childhood and birth. And I wasn't able to do this. Never got to that point. But I did talk about the stuff that bothered me in the present, and I did cry about it. It did talk onto my past, and I touched on those subjects, and I cried. And that's as far as I got. It's better than nothing. And after crying, Birgit would always I would always have my head next to her on a pillow, and she would sit next to me, and it felt so good, It felt so good to be there with Birgit, and there was no stress, and there was no time, and time stood still, and there was no time pressure, and there was no one was expecting anything from us. And we were just there together. It wouldn't matter where that was. That was in Germany, We also did buddy sessions in LA. We went for walks at the beach together in LA. And then we went for walks with my parents' dog in that area in Germany, and it was nice. It was a lovely time that I spent with Birgit. Every precious moment. Every moment with Birgit was precious. I'll never forget you, Birgit. Never. And Barbara. And Barbara and Birgit, they're together now in the Amazon rainforest, high up in the canopy of the highest juicy trees. And Barbara is she's still a baby parrot. And Birgit is an adult parrot, a male, and Barbara is a female. And when Barbara gets bigger, then they are gonna meet, and they're gonna become a couple. They're gonna become a mating couple. Barbara's gonna have she has a lot of aubergine color in her, on her body, and some red and blue and other colors, but the main color is aubergine, and then also some pink tones as well. Very nice. And Birgit is mainly red, bright red, crimson cinnabar red, like my tablets, bumpers, and some other colors too, but mainly that's the main color. It's cinnabar parrot. Very beautiful. And they'll never be caught. They'll never be caught by some poachers that are trying to catch parrots for an exotic pet trade. They'll never be caught. Never. free. They're free forever. So free forever, and I love you. Beautiful. So my message to the world is, just because you disagree with my worldview doesn't mean that what I'm saying, that it doesn't mean that the basic things that I'm saying here don't apply to all of us. So you can disagree with reincarnation and all of this, and you can disagree with, you can call it baby talk, you can call it Pollyanna, whatever you want to do. But there's one thing that applies to all of us, and that is that every living being needs touch, physical touch. Every single one of us needs physical touch. The grumpiest old man, the the happy little child, old grandmother, lonely, I saw a real nice old grandmother the other day at the beach with her little dog. Her little dog was afraid of Dave, and Dave was barking. He always barks and howls when he gets excited, but he just wants to play, and the other dogs don't know what that means. So, and she gave little kibble-bitzels to Dave and to Paul and to her dog, to Paul. And I just thought that she was such a sweet old lady, such a lovely, lovely, sweet, open, open and receptive. And I hope she's not alone. I hope she has a husband or has someone who gives her company, and so she can talk to someone also. It's very important to have someone to talk to. It's very important. And also someone to hold her hand. It's very, very, very important. It's infinitely important that we have someone to hold our hand or foot or touch, the hair like this, pet the hair. Or in Heidi's yoga classes, what we did is, she had this method, this Zen method. I'll show you how this works. I'm gonna use this here. I'm gonna use this stick here. She had these very amazing sticks. I think they were bamboo sticks. They were very amazingly carved and smooth, and were already ready for this exercise. So we were sitting in pairs, and next to us was this ginormous painting that looked like a Jackson Pollock, but I don't think it was a Jackson Pollock. I mean, those are way too expensive. So making a video, yeah. So anyway, one person would take a stick. I'm here, 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 making a video. Okay. So one person would take a stick, and the other one would just sit there, and they would go over half of the face, brushing very lightly over half of the face, entire half of the face. For like 10 minutes. Go back and forth over half of the face. Okay. And then after the 10 minutes, we will sit down and we'll feel our faces and see how that feels, and see the difference between the two sides of the face, and you can very clearly feel how this side that was touched is much more circulated. And then we will take turns, and then the other person will do half of the other person's face. And then we'll switch again, and then the other person will do the other half of the other person's face that wasn't done yet. So in the end we had both halves done like this, and felt really, really good. You know, and when I was a child and I was in Annaliese's therapy, child play therapy, I would cry so much, and sometimes scream. She didn't know what to do, and I was so exhausted, and I was I was such a nervous wreck. I was beaten down psychologically. And sometimes I would just slump down on the ground in total exhaustion. And I wasn't even able to let someone touch me. I was so broken down. And she would take a yarn, a piece of yarn, like a real thick yarn cord or something. And she would let that hang down onto my face. It wouldn't touch my face, but let the yarn touch me. And then she would name every part of my body. This is your nose. And she would pet my nose with that yarn. Your eyes, your eyelids, your forehead, hair. And I really liked that. I liked this touch. I liked this attention, this loving kindness, the caressing, the loving closeness to her. It was such a beautiful thing what she did. That was truly, truly intuitive of her. Most of the things that she did with me in the, you know, the therapeutic things she did for me in that place cellar, most of those were so totally tuned into the infinite cosmos, because that she was totally one with me. She totally identified herself with me, because she too had a horrible, exhausting childhood. So she empathized. She knew what it's like. And she wanted to give me this little bit of touch and confidence and safety that she never got. I love you, Annalise. She's come back as a yellow Labrador. Have a good life, Annalise. Have a good life. Touch, whether it is through the fingertips, or a yarn, or a bamboo, or a piece of rhododendron stick like this one. It doesn't matter. Touch, gentle, kind, loving touch, mindful touch, gentle touch that's not in a rush. Just the total now moment, and enjoy that now moment of that touch, without thinking about the future, without thinking about your assignments. Just totally let go in that moment and enjoy that touch. If you can give that to each other, as you know, if you are partners, if you're lovers, Take time for this non-sexual touch. Take time out of the day and do that. Do that every day. It will increase the quality of your life like you cannot possibly imagine. It will open doors for you energetically. It will bring things into your life that you cannot possibly imagine. But don't do it for that purpose. Then you're no longer in the now. To be in the now means to let go of the future. Let go of any outcome. Let go of any kind of success, any kind of money, business contacts, whatever. Let go of it in that moment and just be there for each other with gentle, caressing touch. Okay? And do it for your animals every day. Be there for your animals. Cuddle with them. Forget about the future. Don't talk about politics while you do it. Just be there in mindfulness. Mindfulness sessions of love. Of unconditional love with the dog, the cat, and your partners and anyone. And so for anyone out there who, like Elliot Rodger, for example, let's take Elliot Rodger. It's my favorite example anyway, because I know so well how he feels. I know exactly how he feels. I know how he felt. He's no longer there. He shot himself in the end. If you take Elliot Rodger, you wind the time back. Take Elliot Rodger, or anyone, as a matter of fact, anyone who's in his situation. Take anyone in his situation. Right? You can watch his videos. You see how he was feeling. His YouTube videos. Alone in the park, rambling about his loneliness and how he has nobody. Seeing other couples and how that felt to him. And take that person. And his dad offered him a prostitute. He offered him a real high-paid prostitute in Las Vegas. His dad has a lot of money. Dad took him. He took him to Hollywood. He took him to the red carpet events, and there's footage of Elliot Rodger standing behind his dad in those Emmy Award events. And he was feeling awkward, and he was feeling ugly, he was feeling invisible, he was feeling terrible, and none of these things helped him. It didn't help. It just made it worse, actually. Just made it worse. Because there was no one there listening to him, really understanding him and seeing him for who he really is. So if you're in that situation, particularly for men it is particularly harsh, because they always think they have to perform, or they think they cannot take and then they have these classifications for women, she's a 10, no, she's a 9, she's an 8, she's just a 5. You know how sexist that is. How would you feel if we did this with men? He's a 10, he is just a 5. How does this feel? You know how that feels to you, Can you imagine how bad that feels for us? It feels horrible. Why do you think girls starve themselves to death? Because they want to be a 10. They want to be the photo model. Some girls, they don't have that body type. So they starve themselves to death because they want the collarbone to stick out. Because then they're beautiful. That's what society tells them. That's not beautiful. Or it's not even attractive. But it is, what are people doing to each other? What are they doing if they classify each other like this? They label each other like merchandise. Yeah, you're like, you have that caliber, and you have that caliber, and you're just like this. I mean, this, the labeling, the the categorizing, the measuring, constant measuring going on. That causes people suicide, that measuring. You need to quit doing this. So, for anyone out there, if it's a guy like Elliot Rodger, for example, first of all, watch the videos by Owen Cook, and he talks about his own story. And if you see Owen Cook, he's a short guy, who used to feel insecure also, who didn't feel like the women would go for him or something. And he empowered himself from within. You can do that too. Everyone can do that. You can empower yourself from within. That means letting go completely. That means laughing about yourself. That means learning to laugh about yourself and love yourself. Laughing about yourself is loving yourself. Not laughing in a mean way, not laughing in a where you just want to, you want to punish yourself or something. Some people do that. That's not what I mean. I mean, laugh for yourself wholeheartedly, Hey, look at that. Look how awkward I looked. Oh my goodness, and laugh about this. Don't take yourself so seriously. That's what most people do, and particularly what most men do. They take themselves seriously because they think they need to be this winner, because this is what society, that's what their parents told them. The man needs to always be the super achiever, the winner. This is always like the strong and intelligent, smart, money. It's all these attributes, that they think they have to master, or they amount to nothing. And there's such panic involved. There's total freaking panic involved in this. And it's double, triple panic, because they can't, if they show that panic, then that's even more of a defeat. And so it is panic of panic of panic, and convoluted over convolutions. And you can let all of this dwindle down, all of this, let it all fall down, let it fall, okay? And let other people laugh. Let other people, if you think they are gonna laugh, let them laugh. They're not laughing. They don't even know what you're doing. But the ego thinks, the ego is paranoid. The ego thinks, oh, they're gonna be judging me, and blah blah blah. People are not judging Owen Cook for a story. They cry. They're so deeply touched over that story. I've seen many times. Seen men cry with him. I've seen men say to him, I love you, man. And they're not gay. I've seen men say to Owen Cook, you helped me more than anyone else with your story. And it's this, you have to let go. Most people don't even know about Eckhart Tolle. And so Owen Cook even brings this entire thing to a wider audience, to a really wide audience. What a fantastic thing is going on there. What a fantastic person. Fantastic angel soul. You have to let go You know, you come into this existence looking like you do for a reason. You don't come into this existence looking like Barbie or Vin Diesel. Most of us don't. And there's a reason for it, because we need to learn. This is our school ground. We need to learn and grow from that what is. From that mud grows the lotus flower. So, and that is our purpose here in life, to grow with that what we have and be grateful for that what we have and laugh about it at the same time. Not take it so seriously. You know, I learned to not take any of this. I never really did. But the more I learn, the less I take myself seriously. The more I learn is I used to be very intimidated by other people. You know, they'd be judging me on not being smart enough. That was because that was so big in my family. So I let go of that also altogether. Let them judge. If they judge, then they judge. That is where they are at right now, in their personal development. Let them judge. You're not going to let them whip you up because of that. You stay right there under the rhododendron brush, and if they judge you, my neighbors are probably seeing me sitting here, and they're probably judging. That crazy, what's that crazy witch doing there again? Let them judge. I don't know if that's what they're thinking, but we had a neighbor who lived there before who I'm sure was thinking that, because she told people all kinds of lies about it. They are where they are, okay? So you don't go out there and you correct that right away, and you sue, you know, some people sue people for slandering them. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? Let it go. Let people go. Let them judge you, slander, whatever. Wherever, whatever they're doing, wherever they are at. That's where they are at. Unless they come to you and talk to you, don't bother. You sit there where you are right now, at the beach, under the rhododendron, in your chair, and you breathe, and you say, I am here. It's also a title of a book by Thich Nhat Hanh. I highly recommend that book. You are here. Okay. This is where you are. And you're not going to let anyone whip you up and make you leave this place and go to another place to serve someone else, or to correct someone's someone's idea about you, or whatever, or you know, to show someone or prove something, or whatever people do. You stay right there where you are, and you breathe with it, and you say, it's okay. This is perfectly okay where I am here right now. Okay, with all of my troubles, with all of my crushes, with all of my desires, with all of my struggles, with all of the fears and everything that is there. It's okay. This is where it's at. Okay. And you leave it at that. And you breathe with it. And you allow it. You allow yourself. You allow yourself in your imperfections and in your fears and everything. And you do what Kristen Neff said, cross your arms over your chest like this. I can't do it because of the tablet. You put the other arm over the other arm. And cross your arms like that. And you say to yourself, I love you, and I know you didn't know better when you did this or that mistake. I've done tons of mistakes, and I didn't know better, and now I know better, and I do better. But I was suffering, and you can say sorry to anyone who accidentally has suffered from your suffering and mistakes, you say sorry to them, and you say sorry to yourself also for having gone through so much suffering, and let it all go. Well, it doesn't matter what gender you are. That really has nothing to do with this. You let it go, and you let the tears fall. I did that yesterday all day long, and it was extremely liberating. It was so bad yesterday all day long that I couldn't even make a video yesterday. It just kept going on and on and on. I didn't want to bother people with my endless rants and cries and so on. Sometimes I cry in the video, but usually, why should I? Why should I do a video about this every day? That would bore people or bother people. I don't know. It's a little overindulgent, but and also kind of negative or something. I don't know if people want. And then they think, oh, she's just crying all the time. Yeah. Yes, I'm crying a lot, yeah. And sometimes this is what it takes. Yeah. I don't need to make a video about it all the time, but trying to just report back in the video for myself and for others what this process is all about. It's an honesty process. It's the transition tunnel. You go through it. And that means sometimes you need to cry. In primal therapy, some people, they cried for 10 years in primal therapy before they started to feel better. Okay. And then I heard about people who they didn't even know about primal therapy, and they cried. And they cried they cried every day for many hours. And it takes as long as it takes. The deeper the wound, the more crying is needed and necessary, and it's okay. Allow it. This is your school. That is your school ground. Go for it all the way. That's what I'm saying. You can't skip steps. You go through the transition tunnel and you go through it all the way without compromises. Life is not about compromises. It's about the full experience. Yeah. And the most important thing is to be honest with yourself in how you feel at every given moment, and look deep inside of yourself. How do I feel about this? Does this feel good? Listen to your inner instinct and give yourself a whole lot more rest and sleep and quiet time. Okay, you guys take care. Bye-bye.